Ting!
So, clearly adding some diversity into the cast was like a big thing for you, partly because of the Trails of Rome. Was it also just because there's not enough diversity out there, you feel, in a lot of mainstream comics already?
For us, I think it was both in a way. You definitely feel your inherent privilege when you're talking with other people. Especially social media has really made us more connected nowadays. So it's a lot easier for us to understand where people who do not have the inherent privilege that we do are coming from. It's like, oh my gosh, it's a total eye-opener. It's great because I'm always learning. I'm always constantly learning, and it's great. And I'm always learning and dying to be more educated. And
I think we also meet a lot more. I feel like we've met a lot more people just because we now go to 20 plus cons a year to sell comics to people. So a lot of convention friends where we're meeting other fellow geeks and fans and cosplayers and nerds and whatnot, comics people in general. And it's a really diverse crowd of people is the other thing that strikes me that we're meeting. But the diversity of the crowd of people we know is not reflected in the comics that are on offer that we're all fangirling over together. So I'm like, there's a discrepancy here, and I don't know, that's even more apparent to me now than it was when we like started Driven Impressions. That there's this massive discrepancy of just like what the kind of characters that are on offer in the main thrust of comics.
Yeah, so, and I mean, so that's kind of the social responsibility in some sense. But I don't want to sound like I'm careless here, but for me, it's something I want to do anyway. You know, like it's for us, it's kind of a social responsibility, but also it's something we like to do.
I don't know if responsibility is the right word. If you like doing it that much. I like creating diverse characters anyway. So.
Yeah, clearly it's enjoyable as well to come up with, which is fantastic. And you're totally right. Like, you can see it whenever, like, a comic or a film puts out a character who is of a background that's not been covered properly before. Like, when Hiccup came out in How to Train Your Dragon, having one leg, suddenly the cosplay and the photos that happened from people with one leg be like, I have a thing at last! it was fantastic to see just how many cosplayers got in on that and be like, see, this is the thing people were waiting for.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I was having a conversation with one of my really good friends who was talking about the fact that she is perfectly happy with female pronouns and she presents female and all that. And she's great. She says, but she doesn't really like wearing dresses. She can't stand it. And she's like, I just wish there were more female characters who had shorter hair and don't like wearing dresses. And I showed her a picture of one of the characters that's going to show up in book 1, and she'll make
one
more
of the army
later.
Lieutenants, so to speak.
Yeah, one of our army lieutenants. And I was like, oh, you're going to love this character. And she's like, I'm drawing you so much fan art when this thing comes out. I was like, yeah. But it's really fun because I get to, we can have these conversations, and it's like, no, you don't, like, I learn as we go on, that there are people who want the exact same amount of stuff that we do out of comics. And it's like, it's always been there. The desire and demand has always been there. And we're very fortunate that we're getting to create and add and do
I feel
more
like we were really fortunate to know the really diverse group of people we know that are all nice and talented and from very different backgrounds. But I feel like there's like, I don't think there's any one character in Cassius where it's like, oh, this character is secretly this friend of ours. It's not like that. But I feel like there's like tiny little tidbits of like all of these hundreds of people we know and love. It's like, oh yeah, I know where, that bit of Primo or this bit of Junior reminds me or her of a little bit of like one part about someone we know. So this is the comic where there's a lot of our friends and fans and just people we've met put into it in little doses, I think.
Because we've heard about their experiences or what they would love to see or whatever. And it's like, yeah, no, I that's exactly how I'd write that too. So
it's awesome. It makes it more real as well. It's a great thing to do. Who are your favorite female characters from existent comics, mainstream or otherwise, or wherever really?
I've been in like comics as a mainstream kind of media a little longer than you have, oddly. But I know I had read some Wonder Woman growing up, and like in college the first time around I was reading some Wonder Woman. And this is, I guess, the side note here is, I think about this question and I'm like, it's not that I don't have female icons or female characters I like, it's just kind of sad that I have to think this long about it, because it's not like I don't read comics. I read a lot of comics, but a lot of my favorite characters are male, or white and male, or white and male and straight, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I identified with them. Like, I read a ton of Tintin growing up, but that's almost all a male like a white male cast, generally, that are taken seriously, for the most part. Which is understandable, considering when it was written and by whom. But it's not a bad thing, necessarily, but it's like, yeah, I really have to sit here and think about this. I read some of, this is more of a webcomic thing, but I read some of Chira and Moon's work. So, like, I started on Sphere Theory, but I got really into Fox Sister a little bit later, and that has a really kick-ass Korean female protagonist who just, she doesn't need anybody's help to, like, kill all of the demons and slay all of the things and save her white American useless boyfriend's ass for him. And I was just like, she's kind of kick-ass. I'm not gonna lie, I have a special place in my heart for that character. Trying to think, like, what other
I know for me, I got into comics in a weird sort of way. I think I'm more of the webcomic boom in that sense.
Yeah, you are.
But I mean, again, I kind of had a weird growing up, so I didn't quite. My parents thought the epitome of comics was like Garfield and Calvin and Hobbes, which is nothing wrong.
You were
with
having
it,
you were doing
I did strip comics, so that was all I really thought of as comics for a very long time. And then I got into webcomics, and I was like, oh, this is great. But the one comic I can think of off the top of my head that has a fantastic female protagonist is Nimona.
Yes. How did I not think of Nimona? Why did I not think of Nimona?
Yes, I absolutely love Nimona. I adore Noelle's characterization. I could sing her praises all day. It's a wonderful comic. Noelle's, I think her name's Stevenson.
Noelle Stevenson's. She's
also
Ginger Hayes on Tumblr and like on social media. Mm-hmm. She does a lot of work for Boom.
Yeah. She did.
I do love what Boom are putting out.
Yes, I know. Oh my gosh.
Boom's at the forefront of doing like diversity and feminist comics right now.
Oh yeah.
And comics for girls.
With Boom and with Vertigo, generally it's people's own babies they're still writing. So you can trust in the brand, you can trust in the writers, and it's fine. With Marvel and DC, it's like I could say I love Wonder Woman, but I have to parentheses, I specifically love when these specific people write Wonder Woman, because then she's awesome. When some other people write her, not so much. It's a difficult one when the character is a brand and they get traded off. No, you go.
Fine, you're fine. I was just saying. I was agreeing with you completely.
It's one of those difficult things, and so generally now I have to wait until like someone reviews or brings up comics. Like, do you know Kate Last's podcast?
Yes.
I love it so much, but I love it because then she'd be like, "And right now, Zatanna's awesome." I'm like, yes, now I will buy Zatanna. Fantastic. Cut through and just get to the bit where it's awesome, and then buy it, and then see where it goes. Because I love Greg Rucka's Batwoman. Greg Rucka's run of Batwoman was Batwoman Eulogy was fantastic for me. And then she came in with the New 52, and slowly the original team members started dropping off the actual team, and it became like, oh, I'm not sure where this is going. Okay, and now there's a very weird, creepy. No, dropping completely. Let's see what else is going on. And you just kind of have to get used to that being the cycle with like Marvel DC. It's a difficult one. I'm sure I've seen this Nimona artwork somewhere before, so. I think she does
Lumberjanes also.
That's it. Yes, I have that comic. Oh my god.
Yes, that's her.
I did not know she did a web thing. Is this a web thing? Did you say?
Yeah. Read through it. It's great.
It's terrific, and it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So much. Yes, the Lumberjanes is effing fantastic. That's the thing. Digital stuff as well, like webcomics. It makes comics so much more accessible these days. There's so much more you can read.
Those just did such wonderful things for getting new readers in, I think, because it makes it more like webcomic level accessible.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean,
shipping.
Before
international backers, I think, are a lot of them are getting PDFs because it's like, and then we don't have to pay $50 to ship something to Australia.
Guilty. I did that.
I know. I appreciated that. I was like, oh, I got a PDF. Thank you.
Well, I wanted to read it, but I was debating like which level to get it, and I was like, oh, it's $10. That's amazing. Oh, 15 shipping. I will think about it. I have to see what my finances will be like at that point.
PDF is pretty much the you don't live on the same continent as we do option. We have a lot of German readers for Grid Impressions too, and it's like I think having the PDF download when we started doing PDFs for Grid Impressions helped them because now they can get all the backstory and stuff if they want. So we can have to European people.
Exactly.
That's
the world of the future. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But who are your favorite characters from Cassius? Do you have favorites yet? Are there people we'll see early on, or will it take a while?
I know. Well, okay. Junia is my baby. It's why she's my icon for like everything. I love writing her. She's a lot of fun. I also have a lot of fun writing her. Well, writing Marcus, the kind of the mysterious guy that I said Junior doesn't know quite a lot about. I have a lot of fun writing him. He speaks basically in epic speeches, and it's just great because I get to sit there and I'm like, how epic does this sound? And I'll say it to Anne, and she's like, that's good, it's good. I'm like, does it sound like it could go for a movie trailer? Nah. I'm like, okay, not epic enough yet. Gotta keep working on it. No, I can make fun of Marcus. I can make fun of myself in my writing. I know. But yeah, no, I like writing him. He's a lot of fun. And I have a couple other female characters that I can't talk about yet, but they are interesting and unique. We have a lot of we have some female generals or soldiers that are pretty great.
There's a female villainess.
Yeah.
In this, and there's also a female general in this. I guess you could put on the baddies roster.
Yeah, you can.
Who I can't mention names yet, but I adore both of them. They're both high on the baddies list in this comic, and I'm just like, you're so amazing. So you're not just evil, and you're not evil for any reasons. You're evil for good reasons. You're sick and twisted and amazing, and I love you. So I love the villains roster. I'm very fond of Junia and Prima, and I think they are cute. So I ship. And then also there's actually a male character that's going to be on the, I guess you could say on the good guys list, on Junia's side, that doesn't come up in issue 1, but what, 2?
He is in issue 2.
2 and 3, we're going to get hold of him.
He comes in pretty early.
Him, and I adore him, and I can't say his name yet, but he is so much fun as a character type.
He's kind of the clown, the practical joker, the clown type, but he's a lot of fun.
I'm waiting for him. He has such hilarious relationships with everyone else in the cast.
Yeah.
I love him.
They're just all he's just a gigantic goofball. He's fun to write too.
Yeah. I want to get to issue 2, fun to issue 2, because I want to draw him. He's fun. He's cute too.
Awesome.
Not like hot cute. He's adorable cute.
Oh, okay. I was like,
well, I guess it's a good time to segue and talk about the plan of Cassius. So the idea is it's 3 story arcs with about 6 or 7 issues within each of them, and this is just the first issue of the first arc.
Yep.
Do you have like a timeline that you're aiming for releasing the first arc or the thing as it goes? Like, when would we expect to see issue 2? Because issue 1's been funded now. The Kickstarters did well enough within a week. You're funded. Congratulations. I'm so excited. And then you got stretch goals and like, Corey Michelle's in this. Yes.
I know. That's
We're so lucky to get know the people we know and have the people involved that we have.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so issue 2, we already have issue 2 actually penciled and written out, so that's already done. And if we get to issue 2 on the stretch goal, we're just going to combine issue 1 and issue 2 into a book because it's actually cheaper to do it that way, and print it at the same time, and that's not going to delay our
delivery date. Doesn't change. You just get twice the comics.
Yeah, basically.
So,
yeah, and so so that's kind of the line for that. And if we don't get issue 2 funded, we'll just kind of we'll put issue 1 together, and we'll probably have it earlier than the delivery date.
Yeah, we'll be ahead of schedule. I think if we only do issue 1.
We'll be ahead of schedule on the delivery date, and then we will just we'll do a Kickstarter for issue 2. I'm kind of, I'm hoping it's well received. So as long as if we just only do issue 1, as long as issue 1 is well received, we'll do issue 2. Because I really want people to like this and to enjoy it, and I also don't want to push ourselves too hard. At the same time, like I want to be able to get the story out as much as possible too. But I also don't want to overwork us. We're in real danger of doing that because we like working, and that's a problem.
We like working, and we live together, and we egg each other on, and then we have 20 things in a schedule that should fit 10, and then we're losing our minds. But we keep doing it. We've been doing it for 3 years. We're managing our workaholic tendencies.
Yeah.
That's completely awesome. Yeah, good to know when not to burn yourselves out, because it's clearly an incredibly enjoyable thing to work on, and there is a risk of that.
Oh yeah, and I mean we plan enough. We're really meticulous about being on time and being on schedule. That's the one thing I can always say about that is we are if we say we're going to have something done by a particular date, it's going to be done from hell or high water. I mean, there's no budging for us. We're kind of, we're very committed to setting something and keeping it in stone. So.
Well, we've had 3 years of practice now, too. So.
Yeah.
We can do it for that. Grave Impressions is a harder book to put together in a lot of ways than Cassius. Just as speaking as an art pipeline process thing here for a second, Grave Impressions is a lot harder to engineer an 80-page book of that than it is to engineer a 32-page book of this. So, I'm pretty confident we can get this out.
So, Anne, how long have you been drawing, and when did Grave Impressions start? Because I can't find a date on it, and your art's clearly developed since that began. Like, the Cassius art, the shading is so nice. No, it's true.
I've really been drawing my whole life, because I was fortunate enough to have parents who bought me lots of art supplies and let me goof around with that for large amounts of time. But I went to school more for like science and math type things the first time I went to college, and kind of put the art thing down for a bit. And then I took a figure drawing class for fun, and I was doing what you do. I draw fan art, and I was fortunate enough to, when I graduated and didn't have a job, have somebody I knew online who works in comics, who had seen my art, say, hey, we need like a flats artist, and we need someone to color this comic that we're getting ready to produce. And would you like a job? And I was like, well, a job is better than no job or an application at McDonald's, so sure, I'll move halfway across the US and take this job because it sounds interesting. And then I kind of got into the comics community from there, and have been drawing a lot more since then. That was about, I think, what, 4.5 years ago? Somewhere in that range?
Yeah,
probably about
2011, 2012, yeah.
Yeah, probably around 2011, I think. Yeah. And then from there, I kind of branched out, and at one point in that timeline, Emily came to live with me. So we started living together, which kind of increased the rate at which ideas bounced back and forth. And pretty soon after that, reasonably soon after that, we got our idea for Grave Impressions, and we were, developing that and starting to put that on the web and get it published and stuff. So it kind of spiraled out of control from there. That was, Grave Impressions is what, about 3 years old?
It's 2012. It went live October 14th, 2012. And
okay, yeah, you know that because it's 2 days before your birthday.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It was the early birthday present to me. She's like, well, I could put this up. She's like, I could put Grave Impressions up, like, on your birthday. Just nobody would know. It would be kind of funny. And we'd always know what our anniversary date is. And I said, no, I'm too impatient. Put it up now. So.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, she's been drawing Grave Impressions since 2012 of that. And now we've been going, we both actually went to college for the first time around. I can say that because we're actually enrolled in college again, but now we're in Savannah, so we're going to Savannah College of Art and Design. So she's actually focused on doing sequential.
I'm doing sequential and you're doing writing. So, and I say that, but I'm in a painting class this semester, so. But yeah, we're doing the artsy thing.
Yeah.
You're full-time making 2 comics, doing 20 conventions a year, and studying.
Yep.
Yeah!
Holy crap! That's amazing! Incredibly impressive.
Certificates. That got revoked a long time ago.
Awesome. I think I fan screwed so much that Eddie jumped away in fear. That's good. It's nice to have my legs back. That's super awesome, though. Oh, well, congrats to both of you. People support them on the Patreon. Now I'm increasingly aware that the Patreon would be a good idea. Links below.
Yes.
Oh dear, oh dear. Sorry. So, current stretch goal, we're looking for literally $75 at this time of recording. So by the time this goes up, you'll probably have hit it, which is awesome. Most likely. Bonus prints from 5 amazing artists. How did that come around? How did you go about finding these people and asking them? Did you just meet them at conventions, I assume?
Yeah, actually, most of them.
We know 4/5 of them personally.
Yeah, we know. So we were like, I guess I'd say 3/5 because we were introduced to Shauna just last year, and she's terribly nice. And when I thought of someone who could bring a really unique art style to the lineup we already had, I was like, oh, I should ask Shauna. And I was very fortunate that she remembered me from.
She's terribly professional too.
Yeah,
so that's nice.
And we'd never actually met Jenny in person before, but I'd seen her art. and on Twitter, and I follow her on Twitter, and she's just terribly nice. And we were like, well, I really love her art, and she's just great. And we were
she's
like,
super professional too.
Yeah.
So we've actually everyone we've worked with has been super professional, which has been made this really, really easy.
oh yeah.
To put together. But
We met we met Catherine Batka first, I think.
Yeah.
We met Kat first at
we were doing little tiny local cons together.
Yeah.
We met her.
We actually lived in Florence, Kentucky 2 years ago now, and we went to a small convention up in Indianapolis. No, in Fort Wayne that
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
We don't go to anymore just because it's a small convention and we can't afford to travel and go up there and whatnot. So it's a lot easier to do for local attendees and whatnot. But so we met Kat and some of the other people she knows up there, and we just kind of kept in touch over the years. And I don't think she'd kill me for saying that we've kind of taken her under our wing. So we like Kat's work.
We were starting to do this really very at a more professional level, independently around the time she graduated from the art school she went to up in Indiana, and started trying to make the first steps towards establishing her professional career. So we've kind of taken her under our convention wing and also kind of been evolving artistically together. So that's been nice.
So she's kind of we're always kind of doing stuff, having fun and collaborating. If we're ever at a convention together, there's always tons of pictures of us drawing stuff, or with her and Ann drawing stuff and collaborating together, and us.
There's a lot of roomies and Cards Against Humanity too, so we know that really well.
And we met Keisha that same year at Yamacon, which is a very small convention in Tennessee that we just love going to. It's a lot of fun. It's really close to us, and the attendees are great. They really. Grave Impressions does really well there.
Northern Tennessee.
You wouldn't think so,
do
but
really well.
We do, and I love it. It's a lot of fun.
So nice.
They're always so nice.
That convention never gives me a headache. It's great.
Yeah, it really is. It's so low stress and low people. We met Keisha there, and she's just so much fun. We roomed with her the year after that, and yeah, she's just kind of been she's also our really good friend. So, and she's a diehard Shakespeare person. So I was like, all right, Keisha, she was the first person I asked about this. I was like, okay, last year at Yamacon, I was like, all right, I was like, so I'm going to do something that's Shakespeare related. She's like, yes, what? Let me in, what? Like,
I think we're kind of passed from the same geek mold,
Yeah.
as in Keisha, so that works.
And we knew of Corey through the the queer comics community.
I've been looking at her webcomics for a while on and stuff.
They had I had never actually gone up and spoken to them. I'd seen them at a convention before, but I'd never had the chance. And then they were really nice, and they came up and saw us at Boston because we were basically tabling back to back, and I didn't realize it. And they were like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Corey." And I was like, "Oh, hi!" And we never really got a chance to talk much. And then at OhioCon, we actually got to have dinner with them, and it was
yeah,
really
that
nice.
was a lot of fun to have dinner with them.
Awesome.
Talk comics.
Yeah, it was
Talk
fun.
queer lesbian comics.
It was great. So they're just a lot of fun, and I love talking to them.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of their work.
Yes, we do.
I'm so excited to Dovetail. It's in my favorites list already, just so that I don't forget about it.
I mean, I'm just excited it's gotten this far already. Like, that's just, it's kind of just amazing and very humbling. Very, very humbling with all of the really great support we've had from people, and getting to do really interviews like this is just it's a lot of fun because we get to talk about our ideas and our expressions and how I guess what we're trying to do.
This is the most concentrated talking about our work of any sort we've done in a while. So.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun though.
It's nice to be able to, I guess, add our 2 cents in for what they're worth. They're not much, but you know.
Ultimately, I think the comic should speak for itself if we've done it right.
Yes,
so,
I hope so.
That should be fun.
I'm super excited for it. And yeah, it's been super brilliant talking to you about this. So much enthusiasm about this, and it's infectious. It's awesome.
You know,
I can't.
it's hard. I don't. For me, it's hard not to be excited because it is one of the first things I've written without like a co-creator in some sense. So
it's your baby. Be excited.
It is. Yeah. It's my brainchild, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. It's your baby. Your queer legion leading baby of destiny and epicness and stabbing and whatnot.
Yes.
I will see you two around. It's been a marvelous talking to you, and best of luck with Cassius. And
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, I have a cat on my lap now, and they're slightly hurt. If I don't pet them, then they'll start clawing my leg, and then this will get harder. That's the thing.
That's okay. I've got one on my feet, and we've got one behind us in a little cat bed. Except the cat bed's tipped over, so it's an igloo. We call it the little igloo now. And there she is.
Nora.
There she is.
Oh,
That's
hello. Hang on, let's. Eddie, do you want to make a friend?
no.
Oh.
He does not.
Neither does she.
Eddie is very grumpy and very old, and just likes food or people getting out of his way.
Nora is only
Very young and very judgmental.
Yeah. She and her sister Nikki are Tonkinese. They're like they're purebred Tonkinese. They're half Siamese, half Burmese, and they talk a lot. And when they're not talking, they sleep or they destroy things, or attempt to destroy things, I should say, because they've never actually successfully destroyed anything.
5 phone cords and counting.
No, okay, that. Other than the phone cords, they've never successfully actually destroyed anything else. So that's the worst they've done is chewed up phone cords, but that's about it. So, but yeah, no, Nora is terribly judgmental. Nikki is everybody's friend. So, and I don't know if you got this, but they are named Nick and Nora from Dashiell Hammett's Thin Man. So,
Oh, nice.
Our noir mystery thing is seeping into all aspects of our lives.
yeah.